if someone's listening now from a user perspective, from a developer or creator perspective, and obviously these roles change rapidly. The user today might be the dApp developer of tomorrow. How should they think about Ava Labs going forward? How should they contact you? Think about your protocol and how it integrates into their business. What's the basically next step they should take or advice you give to them if they're building something on the blockchain?
Well, especially for people in the DeFi Academy, if they want to get in touch with us, obviously avalabs.org is a website that you can figure out a way. Me personally, follow my views on Twitter, John1 Woo. But I think what's important for anyone that wants to get in touch with us is that I want them, if they're a user or developer, just try Avalanche out. Try out, if you're a user, try out the different DeFi apps. No other system out there with a few $100s you can have access to so many things. You can't do that in traditional finance. If you're a developer, try to do something on top of Avalanche. And then I actually encourage you to try to do it elsewhere as well. And then make your decision where you want to build, where you want to create, and where you want to use applications. That's my message for anyone who hasn't tried. And try a lot out and then decide where you want to stay.
Yeah, really good advice. Last note, just personal, John. I mean, how do you stay so fresh? You seem pretty fresh. You seem pretty excited, and I know you got 99 problems in the background. So you must have some mindset or some personal practices. Like, how do you manage all of that kind of on a personal level? Is there anything you kind of make sure you do every day?
Well, on the deep level, it's about enjoying what you do. If I didn't enjoy what I was doing, again. I love people. I love talking to people. I love coordinating with people. I love leading them. I love being led by them when they can make me better. It's all okay. I just want to be involved in a team. But there are two things I do on a daily basis that is like religion. On the morning, you can see me working out. I'll either be on a bike, at the gym, lifting with my trainer or something, playing a sport. And then I do 10 minutes of reflection every single night. I learned this, so when I was at business school at HBS, Jack Welch came to speak to us. Wow. and he said, I'm gonna give you some advice that most of you will never do, but the few that do, it's gonna benefit your life, and you only get it from a compounding perspective. You can't just start it when you're later in life. You gotta start it right now. And he said his most important part of his day was the 10 to 15 minutes at night before he went to bed, where he reflected and then he thought about tomorrow's goals. So every night I think about where I went, what I did, what I accomplished, what I didn't accomplish, and then what do I need to do tomorrow. Then after I do that, I can actually sleep. If I don't do that, I actually cannot sleep because I'll wake up in the middle of the night when I have forgotten, just to be clear, so I'm not perfect. If I've forgotten that, I see myself waking up in the middle of the night saying, oh my gosh, I gotta do that, I gotta get going. And I'm like typing, and then before you know it, it's like, wait, why am I can't go back to bed. It's because it's already 7 o'clock, I gotta go out for my workout now. So those are the two habits that I have. One is that therapeutic workout in the morning, and then at night, the reflection. It's almost like meditation in a weird way.
So you kind of put yourself in a quiet room, close your eyes, and then just meditate, reflect, and that's the way you kind of close out your day.
Exactly.
I can just see Jack saying that and looking at everybody thinking 90% of these people aren't going to bother, but it's a great tool.
I think his exact words, I'm going to give you the best advice you're never going to do.
Right, and that's coming from Jack Welch, old school guy, right? Before meditation was cool, right? A last question, what was Harvard Business School like? Obviously, I was down the street in Cambridge or undergrad. I heard all sorts of interesting things. What's the one thing you took away most from Harvard Business School?
So in hindsight, I don't know if you know how it's structured, but it's kind of like a blockchain. So you have these different cohorts, and there's like 5 or 6 cohorts of 80 or something like that.
Okay.
And each one is kind of like a node, and you get to really like make decisions within that node. It's like each class or cohort was like an Avalanche subnet. Huh. But then there was this common theme that bonded all of these different cohorts together. And it's one of those things where, like you said, you were a Bankers Trust, and all of a sudden that in itself, that shared experience, and this is the same with people in the military, that shared experience going through the trenches together, doing those case studies, all of that, it gives you some sort of bond. Like even today, when there is a young alumni, just because they were at that school, I feel a connection, and I'm willing to help out and at least listen and hopefully guide them or do whatever I can to help them out. So I think that trust, again, and the reason why there wasn't 1,000 cohorts must be something about that 6 to 7 type of thing. If you get too many cohorts, you don't trust anyone anymore.